So welcome to the Velero community meeting for August 6th, 2024, kind of US Europe time zone centric meeting. So the overall status, and this is a repeat from last week. I don't believe anything's changed. Someone let me know if it has, but tentative release for 1.14.1 is still scheduled for near the end of the month, August 26th. We do have one open issue left. Shubham, are you still working on this one?
No, we can. I think last meeting I mentioned that we can target this for next release 115. There
Okay,
was
got it.
no
So
plan.
we should
Yeah,
remove the with a 114 label.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do that now. So
I had a draft PR up, but there's no consensus. So yeah,
got it. Okay, that's fine.
yeah.
So I've relabeled this 115 candidate. We can include that in the 115 triaging then.
Yeah.
So at this point, nothing else is open there. Sounds like so 115 feature freeze is here. Expected to be feature complete on the 26th of August. So yeah, so we can, if we can get that in and kind of targeted shortly. For my own status, still working the backup performance improvements work. Second PR, first PR was merged last week. Second PR, first round of reviews is in. Made some changes, made some comments. So if people could go ahead and look at that again as well. I'm working on the kind of the bulk of the work, remaining work is the item block model and backup workflow changes. Now I will post a draft PR once the functionality is complete there. It will be draft until this other PR gets merged. But I believe I should be on target to get this in place by the 26th of August. As long as we get the reviews in and we can agree to any changes needed in the right time frame. But I think we're in good shape there. So I have started that third PR with the model and workflow changes, but I'm kind of in the beginning stage of that. So I'd say either end of this week or first half of next week, I should have a PR out for that. Tiger?
Yep. So I have some PRs ready for review. And then I'm going to be continuing to work on download API design. And that's it for me.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I'll have a look at those PRs later today as well. And anyone else that has a chance should do so. Shubham?
Yeah. I've been reviewing some PRs related to data mover that London's putting up. I think one final PR review that will get microservice data more running. I'll take a look at that today. Thanks, Lyndon. And other than that, once the microservice data more gets merged, I'll start working on the allowing the access modes to be defined for backup pod backup PVC. So the design is merged, but I'll start working on it once the microservice work is merged because it is conflicting code. So.
And just to clarify, that's to allow the access modes, and there was another issue relating to setting storage class, and both of those were a part of this design, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that sounds great. Do we have any other status updates or discussion topics? I don't see any topics on the agenda, but if anyone has anything to bring up, we've got plenty of time here.
Did we were waiting? Are we deprecating Restic in 1.14.1 or is that in 1.15?
No,
I
it'll be
forgot.
1.15. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be 1.15.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a PR out for that. It's kind of through the process of waiting maintainers to move to weigh in. I don't believe we have enough feedback to say we have the majority, or is it a simple majority? I forget now from the doc.
It was.
I think it was the majority of maintainers.
You have to wait 72 hours.
Yeah.
After getting a majority, and I think it's 50 plus. I don't know. I'd have to look again.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so basically, I have no reason to believe we won't get that, but if anyone hasn't looked yet, then can put their feedback there. Please do so, because I don't believe we have 50% yet on that. We do want to get
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I think Yonghui has discussed that with us yesterday, and yeah, I think we're gonna give our thumb up in tomorrow Beijing time. Hope that
Yeah, that
it's not
works.
too late.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, there's plenty of time. As I said, as Wes said, I think it's like once we get that majority, 72 hours. So we're still well within the time frame for 115. We just want to make sure this doesn't fall through the cracks, and
Mhm.
but I think we're good there. Once we get that approval, then we can get the PRs into actually put in the warnings and all that.
Yep.
That should be relatively simple in terms of changes, versus the later change of removing it. It's just a matter of figuring out exactly where we want the warnings to appear, and all that.
Mhm.
That sounds good. And were there any other issues that anyone wanted to bring up? Okay, if not, I guess we are done for today. Next week, the Beijing time zone meeting will occur as usual. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Have a good
Thanks,
one,
Scott.
folks.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.